In today's video, it's time to have the Singapore Grand Prix with, though, rain. Yes, I'll get to that. But first of all, if you missed the previous episode at Monza, I recommend you go and check one up before seeing this one. Because, first podium, spoiler, of the season. So I'm very happy with that. Step in the right direction. Now, in terms of some R&D, we really need to repurchase this major weight reduction upgrade. But Sonoda actually beat me. It's a major weight redistribution upgrade. Sonoda actually beat me to it. So there's not really a lot I can do. I've only got 346 resource points available. Major weight redistribution upgrade, that is coming. Major weight reduction also on the car. Hopefully both of those should come in time for Singapore. So this just leaves, there's not anything I can do on the engine. Just a minor drag reduction upgrade, I think, is all I can do. The aero is probably not the least worst part of the car, with mid-table compared to everyone else. But an upgrade to try and close that gap a little bit on Alpine. Yes, look at all of that rain. Full heavy wet qualifying. And then potentially full rain in the race, but also a dry period. Mark hasn't sent me a weather report for some reason, but yes, well, that's a little bit annoying. But in terms of R&D, the R&D performance graph, Aston Martin, huge update to take them from being the 4th fastest team to the 2nd fastest team. But we know that performance isn't everything. Mercedes, maybe they can do something. We'll have to wait and see about that. But Red Bull has seemed to have dominated this season, and they're now the 4th fastest team as well. But look at that rain. It is pouring down with rain here in Singapore. Now, obviously, the rain isn't consistent in qualifying, and it's going to be drying up. But yes, at the start it was like this, full on, full wet tyres, sliding about, and about 4 seconds off the pace where I actually needed to be. Many laps later, though, as well, when I on to lap 5, I actually aborted a few laps as well. It is actually dry enough for the inters at the end as well, which is not surprising. The humidity, I suspect the humidity in Singapore is probably really helping evaporate the standing water on the track. Obviously, we've only ever had that one wet race, if I remember rightly, or back in 2017, where according to Ferrari, Verstappen took both cars out. But yes, Singapore isn't a great track for me. Used to be a good track for me pre-2021, and then obviously recent years it's just not been very well. I think the AI have a little bit too much OP traction here sometimes, and especially through the new section it can be hard to defend. I'm hoping that as I get to grips with that layout, because it's still relatively new compared to some of the other tracks that have been racing at the same layout for years. Obviously, unlike in real life, I'm pretty sure we had a DRS zone down this bit here now where we're driving past. I'm pretty sure there's a DRS here, but it's not in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below as well. But anyway, it's been an okay lap. It's not been the best lap in the world, I'm not going to lie. I don't really know how to do the best lap. A little bit of not the ideal line out of the final corner, and that will be enough for P16. So usual qualifying, Yuki is up on the front row, but it's Fernando Alonso showing Aston's upgrades with pole position, Lance Stroll P10. A shocker for both Ferraris, both Red Bulls. Max Verstappen, the championship leader, is 13. It's even worse for the 2 McLarens. Perez is starting behind me. You shouldn't be starting behind me. I'm dreadful at qualifying. Well, yeah, Magnussen's got a penalty, so for impeding blocking. Yeah, that is very interesting. We've got mixed up grip. We'll see if we can do time for the race.
The spectacular backdrop of the Singapore skyline, something of an endurance race ahead with the notorious sauna-like temperatures for the drivers. It makes it a very physical contest out there. Welcome back to Marina Bay for the Singapore Grand Prix. This is a wonderful racetrack to come to, but it's sometimes been a bit tricky to overtake. We have a new layout to try and change all of that. Reduced to 3 miles, it's turn 16 and turn 19, which has gone from corners to a straight. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Albon, Gasly, Bottas, Stroll, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Verstappen, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Phoenix, Perez, Teo Porcher, Joe, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Well, you're very welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me, an authority on all things motor racing. It's a warm welcome to Naomi Schiff. Well, this is the most advanced sport anywhere on the planet. How's it changed since you were last racing?
It is certainly an interesting time in this set of regulations because, as you know, when a new set of regulations come out, everything changes and you always wonder who's got it right. Well, we know the Red Bull are the ones who really got it right the last couple of years. But now you can see the rest of the grid slowly start to catch up, and there's really only so much left for Red Bull to get out of these regulations. So it is interesting, and the pack are catching up.
So, mate, you're back to podium last race, and I, for one, really enjoyed it. I know you did, so let's see if we have more of that today, please.
No, Mark, this is Singapore. Normal service will be resumed for fighting for P10. Race strategy is a bit interesting. It is going to be dry, but there is that one rain icon. Now, the weather session forecast, we all know, is not accurate, so that rain could come either earlier or not at all. Medium's the best bet for now. See how hard the time rush. As away we go. Excuse me. Didn't get time to say 5 lights there. Piastri comes across and set it on the inside of Norris. The Red Bull high-ups won't likely getting involved here. They will likely get involved with the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, I think that is, as well. So the AI squabble. We saw this in Monza, where they just get too busy fighting each other to actually put the pace down. But I'm in front then. Up at the front, Hamilton leads then. His teammate George Russell. Alonso had a grid penalty, which is why Tsunoda was able to start in the front row, but he hasn't had the best start. He's down at P4. Ocon's up in P2 right now for the Frenchman, as I'm having a look at Max Verstappen. And Alonso down the inside as well. Alonso's off circuit, and then send it down the inside. Carlos Sainz. Thank you very much. Up to P10. Beautiful move. It was a double dive bomb on Verstappen and Alonso as well, and then I just sent it down the inside. Alonso had nowhere to go there, and he has ended up gotten overtaken almost by Verstappen. Send it on Bottas over the bridge. Can't be stuck behind the Slough, as I've said time and time again. I'm just going to outpace him here. He should. The Slauber shouldn't really be able to compete in terms of long-term race performance. Their short-term, the quality pace is actually very good. And that is George Russell finally getting past Esteban Ocon. He's down a third. Tsunoda ahead of Hülkenberg, 4th and 5th. And that's Charles Leclerc. He is going slowly, and he is out of the race with an engine failure. A miserable weekend for him. Not even getting to qualify well. As well. Jump back to lap 5. I've lost DRS to Stroll, so yes, but Bottas is behind, and to be honest, I mean, that car just I'm comfortable. Bottas is not really posing any sort of threat whatsoever. Not that they really do that anyway, but in actual fact, Bottas, by the time we get to lap 8, I reckon the soft tyres are going off because Bottas started on softs and he's now lost out a second, and he's now got Carlos Sainz all over the back of him. It's only a matter of time before Sainz is back. And that is Ocon. He's lost out to Tsunoda, and now he's lost out to Hulkenberg. So the softs really must be going on. I mean, this is the first time, you know, if this was an older F1 game, they would have pitted by now, I reckon, for medium tyres, even though the rain's coming at some point. That's when it's actually coming now. But whether or not it comes early, as I'll go around the outside there of Stroll, unable to get him here. Can I get him around the outside? He's going to go defensive. I'm going to go round the outside at the end of the third DRS zone, up to P8 now. That was a crucial move. Couldn't be stuck behind Stroll. Got to get past Ocon as well. The mediums are the right tyres to be on as it starts to rain. The soft tyres are trying to extend their run, but you know those tyres are dead. And I'm not joking. As Gasly as I go around this Ocon, starting to slide as well with my rear tyre wear. It's actual fact time for inters as well as a sliding around. I've had enough. I'm not going to do another lap. We're going to double stack here. Mark wanted me to do another lap. Absolutely not. You know, let's just double stack. I don't understand why teams don't do this. If you look how many people are going past on the mini-map there as well. So there's a good few places that could be gained here, potentially, as well.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Of course, just as I was having a good strategy, thinking, yes, we can gain some positions out this pit stop. No. We've lost and we're behind Stroll again. You know, I was going to be right behind Gasly. Yeah. No. The pit crew have let me down. Absolutely let me down here. Not happy. I'm not happy with that. As Lewis Hamilton has come into the pits then, Ocon's still going as well. Those soft tyres really must be dead. We'll see right here. There's Alonso as well. So with everyone made their pits the switch to intermediates then, Russell leads the Grand Prix, Tsunoda's second, Hulkenberg could be on for his debut podium in third, ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who's down in fourth place as well. I've got Max Verstappen behind me now on lap 16, and this is going to be a bit more difficult than Bottas. You've got Verstappen and Sainz and much faster cars. I should point out Christian Horner is not going to like what he's going to see there, because I'm not letting Verstappen pass easily. And that is Lando Norris and Sergio Perez, both of which have had shockers and are pretty much almost last, apart from Zhou, who did an extra lap on the softs and he was miles behind anyway. As well, and that's Verstappen having a go. I'm going to defend the inside here on lap 19. Again, that just I have to cut across him in order to make that to defend the move as well. You know, this is the best chance Verstappen's had. He probably used all his battery, but we both go off there. I did not mean to cut across, but that's the best I can do with the grip I've got. And you know, Horner won't be happy with that. And that's Sainz. Both Ferraris out of the Singapore Grand Prix on lap 20. Sainz is out. That's going to give a point to Piastri. But look at the rain. I think it's time for 4 wets. Now, I was wanting... The safety cars almost died there. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? No safety car, nothing. There's nothing for that. Typical F1 game there. If there had been a safety car, I would have boxed for wets as well. Although I know it would have been potentially easy, as I've had a bit of a mare coming out that corner. Side by side with Verstappen, should be able to cut across here to keep the position. Yes, I can. We need these points potentially for the any championship as well, and obviously my championship. With Sainz not scoring, it'll be interesting to see what the drivers will be in a moment. But to come through the final corner, Verstappen will be frustrated, stuck behind the junior team Yeah, there'll definitely be there'll probably definitely be words with upstairs about that, about not letting Verstappen go. But at the end of the day, I'm here to fight my race. I don't want to be in the junior team apart beyond this season. Really, I think we're starting to show enough, especially in this what's been a backmarker team. Fair play to Yuki though, his first points of the season now, getting that podium there, as Russell then dominated, and he's won back-to-back Grand Prix. Hamilton will be frustrated he couldn't get past Hulkenberg. Disappointing races there for Perez, Norris, Alonso, and even Ocon, who qualified P4, finished way down outside the points there. So in terms of the Drivers' Championship, I'm not really going to catch Alonso unless he starts having a few bad races, but keeping Sainz behind and Albon will be crucial, because obviously Albon scored more points today, but Tsunoda's up there now into 13th, and that's crucial because we've now got a healthy margin to Williams. We're closer to Aston Martin now. No, we're not. We're not closer, excuse me, but we're halfway to getting to Aston Martin. If they start having a few stinkers, then Tsunoda starts scoring big points again, like he did today, then there's no reason why we can't catch Aston Martin for 5th place, which would be a very good end to the season. But that's a lot of big ifs. There's a lot of development to come as well. Our heated rivalry with our teammate is 2-2. We didn't really see him. As I said, I didn't see him really. Didn't get a chance. He was much better than I was here. Made the most of the rain to get in the qualifying and get that position as well. Good round of stats. A lot of bit of pace as well. So that puts me up to 82 rated, which is level with Tsunoda now. So I'm making good progress there. Almost 60%, to get on the recognition. 60% is crucial because it unlocks the front and rear downforce upgrades as well. In terms of strategy specialists, they had a good race. Still not level 3 on the strategy analyst, but other than that, it's a good result all round. 8th place. I'm a little bit annoyed. I'd have loved to have seen it if it was a dry race to see what the pace was like, but then of course I did adjust my setup slightly for the rain. Not too much, but it was still enough. So it'd been interesting to see on a dry race and a fully dry weekend what my pace is around Singapore as well. The next episode is Brazil. That episode is a sprint race, and that will be out in the new year, along with Portugal, Vegas, and Abu Dhabi. So yeah, there's some. They're not my best tracks, but they're not my worst tracks either. There, so there's a good chance to get some decent points in those last 4 races of the season. But that's where I'm going to leave it today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel to see plenty more F1 24 Driver Career Mode series videos, as when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.